Good morning to my 830 YouTube subscribers. Hope you guys are having a nice Friday morning. Thank goodness it's Friday. Really looking forward to this weekend. I'm having a garage sale tomorrow from 8 a.m. to noon, long as the weather is nice. And then church on Sunday, always looking forward to that, of course. And so I'm just on my morning walk, 2.6 miles. In the morning, and yesterday I did 10.4 miles. The day before I did 10.4 miles. So call me butter because I'm on a roll. That's my original joke. Call me butter because I'm on a roll. I like that one. But anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna plan on doing 10.4 miles today, and I really just want to do 10 miles every day until the weather stops. And they say by walking 10 miles, I'm going to burn over 1,000 calories a day. And that's a lot, 1,000 calories, plus, lifting weights and doing all the other exercises and moving around. So I'm probably going to burn around 2,000 or more calories a day. And then I'm going to try to take in like 1,500 calories a day, all healthy, nutritious calories. So that's how you lose weight. You have to burn more calories than you take in. That's just plain and simple. Anybody can lose weight. I know I heard a lot of my friends who they say got some squirrels running over there fast, chasing each other. That's funny. I love walking through these woods because I see animals every day when I walk. Every time I walk this trail, I see squirrels, chipmunks, bunny rabbits, snakes. There's red foxes over here. They got all kinds of different animals, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, I have friends and stuff that say I have to be fat because the medications I'm on, the health conditions I have, genetics. Oh, genetics. I can't never be skinny because my genetics are bad. And people just make all these excuses. And it's really just a super simple choice where either, you gotta consume less calories, then you have to eat, burn more calories than you consume. So even if you're let's say you're just working at a desk job, you don't exercise, you don't walk, you don't lift weights, you don't do anything, you don't do no exercise at all, hardly any, then just eat, maybe you're only burning 1,000 calories a day. So just eat 500 calories a day. You're going to lose weight. Like, just eat less than you do. But see, that's the problem with Americans. They just always want to blame other people for their problems. Oh, it's the environment. It's the government. It's my genetics. Oh, I'm on this medication, so I have to be fat. Whenever somebody hears that, I just look at them like they're about the stupidest person in the world. And I know they're not, but it's just, it's like an addiction. They got a food addiction. And the first step to solving any problems is admit you have a problem. So they're not going to admit that, that they got a problem they got a food addiction. And I mean, and I understand because the government, they do 1,000 food advertisements a day. Everywhere you walk, everything you listen to is always food, 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 food. So they make you think like you're supposed to eat all this food and you're not. It's not natural. It's not healthy. And it's going to lead you to an early death. You're not going to collect Social Security. And that is the point of it, So, I just wish people would just be honest with themselves and be like, being healthy is not in my top priorities. My top priorities is making money, my career, watching my Netflix series. That's more important to them. That's really what's on their mind, And so if diet and exercise is not your top priority, then you're going to be unhealthy. And that's what the government wants. Let's be honest here. The government, they're already $900 trillion in debt. They blow all our money on dumb stuff. And the money that they do spend on is basically just the, you know, like they don't spend it, you know, the most tax money goes to the military. And that's dumb, because all we try to do is go steal people's oil, and, you know, we try to, so you know what, maybe we should stop stealing and stop spending so much money on military. All the other countries, they don't spend that much. So that's just not gonna work. And then the second amount of money goes to NASA. In the last like 70 years, the majority of money goes to the military. The second amount, this is what nobody knows, it's all going to NASA. And what has NASA ever did? And it was probably a fake moon landing, because it don't make no sense if you think about it. Like, why haven't we went back to the moon? Why ain't we been to Mars? You know, and Google says, I Googled it, they said they lost the technology. They lost the schematics on how to do it. And the American government, they can't afford it because it's too expensive. I'm like, people believe anything, you know, but they're putting fluoride in the water. They're putting stuff in the meat and all the vegetables and fruits and stuff. So it's making us really dumb. So we believe, like, people just believe dumb stuff like that. But that's because they're, you know, that's the food we're consuming. It makes us really stupid. And so we just believe stuff like, you know, we believe, oh yeah, the American government, they can't afford to go to the moon because it's too expensive. And then everybody just hear that and they'll be like, oh, okay. They teach it in school, kindergarten, first grade. Yeah, we haven't been to the moon because it's just too expensive and we lost the blueprints on how to do it. Man, that's dumb. And so then, so anyway, so the military gets the most tax money, NASA gets the second most tax money, and then public education gets the third tax money. And then you think about public education, they spend trillions of dollars every year, and all they teach the kids is how to read, write, and arithmetic. And then when they graduate, they don't know how to read, they don't know how to write, and they don't know how to do math. And that's all they teach them for 12 years. That's so stupid. You know what? Teach them reading, writing, arithmetic 4 years. And then 8 years, let's teach them car mechanics. Let's teach them home repair. Let's teach them finances. Let's teach them criminal law. Let's teach them some important stuff. You know, how to grow food, how to garden, how to be self-sufficient. But they won't never do that because they need auto mechanic like Midas. They need all the car shops, and they need all the home improvement shops and all that. That way the government could, then they could tax us over, they can overcharge us for car mechanics, and they can overcharge us for home improvement, and they can overcharge us for food and all the stuff we should be doing ourselves. But they don't want it to do it ourselves because they can't tax us if we do it ourselves. But Midas pays $1 billion a year to the government in taxes. And, you know, it's so much tax money. So that's why they just do that. You know what I mean? It's just dumb. Like the government, you know, I used to love the government. I grew up in a military household, Christian household, and I used to watch professional wrestling. I'd be like, USA, USA. Even when the government sent me to prison for a crime I didn't commit, I still thought, oh, the government knows better than me. You know, they're the best, you know. So I was like, you know, I would never look down on the government. But ever since coronavirus, I was like, okay, this is about it. You know, it's like, like you're in a relationship with somebody, you're married to somebody, and you put all your trust and faith into them people, right? But then you find out they're lying to you and they're deceiving you, and they don't have your best interests at heart, but you put all your trust in them. It's like then it leaves you bitter. You know what I mean? When you get, so when you, that's how I am with the government. I used to love the government. I used to look up to the government, but then I found out, oh, they're lying to us. They're doing all this bad stuff. And now I'm just like, now what I'm doing with the government, the same thing I did with the Chicago Cubs, is I waited patiently for the Cubs to win the World Series. And now I'm waiting patiently for the government to collapse, which will happen. That's 100% for sure. It's definitely not going to last, you know, in my opinion, all my opinions here. So whatever. But anyhow, don't know. Oh, then the tax money, and then prison systems is the next thing they spend the most money on. So the most tax money goes to the military, then NASA, then public education. And fourth is the prison system, which they got the most people in the world locked up in America. Most of the people that's locked up in America is nonviolent offenders and, you know, or crimes they didn't even commit, somebody else committed, like me, you know, like what happened with my situation twice, you know what I mean? So if it happened to me, it had to happen to millions of other people that's locked up for what somebody else did, you know, and that's the American way, you know. And then also, the American government, they spend billions of dollars. The American government helped start the rap industry. They was giving anybody in the late 80s, early 90s from New York City, the CIA went out there and he was giving $1 million contracts to anybody who glorified blacks killing blacks, selling drugs, gang banging, and all that stuff. And they did that in the 80s and 90s. And they did the same thing with the movies like Blood In, Blood Out, America Me, Boys in the Hood. All these movies came out in the early 80s and 90s. Then the government brought in all the crack and cocaine. And before the government brought in cocaine, kilos of coke was like 80,000. And then the government flooded so much cocaine in America, it went down to like 7,000 a kilo for pure cocaine. And then the government scientists showed everybody how to cook it as a crack. And they started the crack epidemic in the late 80s. And then they brought in the HIV AIDS epidemic to the poor communities. And so, and that's when everything went downhill. But then they did mass incarceration, because not only did the government bring in all the drugs, but then back in the late 80s, early 90s, if you got caught with 1 gram of hard crack cocaine, you would have to do like 40 years in the federal prisons, you know. And so they would bring it into the community, and then they would lock everybody up. But the plan was, the reason why the government did that is because they wanted to separate all the men. They wanted all the men out of the household. And then that way the government could control the mothers and the children really easy. And you'll see that today, most households for the low income, especially low income families, the father's not around, and that's by design. That's not by accident. That's not because the dad didn't want to be there. That's crazy. But that was all by design. And Uncle Sam, the government, is the majority of the American children's dad. You know what I mean? They give them free house, free link card, free food, free gas, free electric, free everything. They give you free. The government give you free everything as long as the dad's not around. Now, if the dad's around, then you don't get none of that stuff. You know what I mean? If you're a two income family, then you're not eligible for free food and you're not eligible for a free house. But if you're if the kid's dad's locked up in prison, boom, free everything, you know. So, and then they just control the kids, and then they influence them, and then you got all these kids believing, oh, coronavirus is, you know, the mothers influencing the kids, you know. And then whatever, then the majority of the mothers turning lesbian and all that stuff, whatever. But it's all by design, you know. And that's where our tax money goes to all this dumb stuff. And it's pretty sad. You know, it's pretty sad. So I don't know what really got me on this topic today, but it is what it is. And I'll be honest, when I wake up in the morning, I've been through so much hard times, like 40 years of hard times. So when I wake up in the morning, I have like a chemical imbalance, you know. But I you know, Socrates said, know thyself. And I know that about myself. And I shouldn't not even do videos before noon, because once I exercise, I eat some breakfast, have a coffee, and then all the crazy thoughts is gone, you know. But the bad part is it's all true. It's the stuff that I've learned. It's a little overwhelming. And ignorance is bliss. It's just better not to know anything. It's best just to believe everything the news tells you is true. You know what I mean? Don't start doubting it, you know. Just believe everything they teach you is all the truth and stuff. Evolution. Oh, evolution. We evolved. You know, we was tadpoles, then we turned to frogs, then we turned to birds, then we turned to monkeys, and then boom, now we're humans, you know. You know, evolution, that's a lie. You know, all this stuff they teach us is, even though I believe in God and I believe in the Bible, and for the longest time, until about maybe 5 years ago, I believed in evolution. I thought evolution was true. But if you look at it, if you just think about it for but see, the thing is, they keep you so stressed out and they keep you so worried about your bills and trying to impress your friends that you don't ever get 5 minutes out your day to think about anything. So that's the thing. If you're stressed, you're not thinking about nothing. So they do that on purpose, keep you stressed out, keep you in fear, and then you ain't gonna think about all these things. Hello. But once you don't have no more fear in your heart, and once you get out the fast lane, you take life easy, you stop being materialistic, you stop being a slave to the system, and then you just take time, you just start using common sense, and you use the brain God gave you, then you start seeing all that stuff's the truth, and you're like, you see all the lies, and you see what it really is, and it's like, wow, you know. But I find it interesting to think about. I love it. I love history. I love psychology. I love religion. You know, I love botany. I love animals. I love farming. I love all that stuff. So everything's so interesting to me anyway. So it's interesting for me to think about. And but now these walking talks, I can only get so deep in because I'm just really ranting and rambling. However, once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna get a whiteboard. I'm gonna sit there and it's gonna be everything written out. And I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna do a video, like I'm gonna do like one video once a week. It's going to be really a deep dive into whatever the heck I'm thinking about. And I'm going to research. I'm going to Google search 50 different things. I'm going to do a lot of reading. I'm going to write down a lot of notes. And then I'm going to write it on the blackboard. But specific numbers and word cited because I am college educated. So that's the thing. When I go deep, it's going to get deep. You know, when I start talking about where the tax money's going to go, where the tax money's going to, I'm going to write it on the board. I'm going to have my notes. I'm going to have my reference points. So you could be, I'll be like, look this up right here. And every little point that I'm going to put on the whiteboard, you're going to easily be able to look it up yourself and be like, dang, wow, he's telling 100% the truth. And it's going to be shocking. Because I'm going to show you exactly where all the tax money goes to. And I'm going to expose all the lies, everything that I'm saying now. I'm going to put it out in detail. And I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be interesting. So there's two things I'm really looking forward to on my YouTube channel. Is one is going to deep dives once a week. Two is when I get my off-grid farm and I do that. That I'm also going to do a document all my farming, how I take an acre and a half, 2 acres of land, just a very small amount of land. And they'll have no kind of water hookup, no electric hookup. It's going to be in the middle of no place. And how in 5 years, I'll turn that raw piece of land into an oasis because I already know how to do it. I've already studied it. And so that's two things I'm looking forward to for the YouTube channel. And the third thing will be going hikes deep into the woods. That's another thing. So it's going to be the in-depth videos on certain subjects. It's going to be the off-grid farm, showing how I turn raw land into an oasis. And then thirdly, it's going to be me going deep into the woods, camping, hiking, exploring, and all that. And all that stuff's going to start like November 1st. I'm hoping to get the land. So it's going to take time. Everything takes time. So I'm hoping I'm working every day to sell my collectibles, save my money. I'm going to buy my property, buy a whiteboard. I'm also going to upgrade my camera. Because before this is a Google phone. And before this, I had a Galaxy S10 through T-Mobile. And then I went to Xfinity Comcast. And so, to get a new service, they had a deal going on. I said I needed a camera that's as good as the Galaxy. And he was like, oh, this Google phone is just as good. Big liars. Xfinity, Comcast, all the big businesses, all the big pharmaceutical companies, the government, all that, they're all lying devils. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you guys. All of them, Comcast, Xfinity, all of them, they're nothing but liars. You know, I told them, I said, you know, I want my service to be underneath 100 a month. It's 140. I told, you know, the phone that I got, $600 phone, it's a $600 piece of garbage. I've had $50 phones that's better than this, you know. And just all these experiences just made me just, you know, I got all the hate out of my heart. So I'm not going to say I hate the American government, because I don't hate nothing. Hate's a strong word. You know, it just makes, it's just an eye opener to me, which everything happens for a reason. And so I'm looking for ways to get around all the big business, garbage company pickups, all that, you know, anything, any big business. I'm trying to figure out how to, grocery stores, haven't been to Walmart in 4 months, you know, so I'm just going to learn how to bypass the system. And then I'm going to document it all on my YouTube channel and show you guys how y'all can also do it, you know. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing, and show you how you can live a happy life on a low budget. You know, because money won't buy you happiness. You can have all the money in the world to be unhappy. Look at Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, all the, you know, Bill Gates, whoever it is. Them people don't look happy to me. You know, that's a big lie. That's money don't bring you happiness. Love brings you happiness. Loved ones bring you happiness. That's where the happiness comes from. Being free, being alive, being healthy, being intelligent, having your people that you talk to every single day on a daily basis, you know. But then once people put all their wealth before that, they focus on their career, then they don't talk to their loved ones every day, you know, their friends and family, and the relationships die, and then they're left all alone with a good retirement and nobody to share it with. And that's sad. And that's the American way. But anyways, my walk's over with. Hope you guys have a nice day. Take care. Talk to you later.